Anda akan menikmati manfaat seperti akses pendanaan yang luas dari pasar modal, peningkatan image perusahaan, likuiditas dan valuasi saham yang menguntungkan bagi founder, peningkatan profesionalisme perusahaan, pertumbuhan dan kelangsungan usaha, peningkatan loyalitas karyawan, serta insentif pajak.
Government officially raises value-added tax rate to 11%. Trade Minister ensures additional supply of containers for export. Hello, good evening. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. And as the pandemic is still ongoing, we will provide you the latest COVID-19 information. Please stay safe by taking some simple precautions, such as physical distancing, wearing a face mask, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands, and having less mobility. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. The Central Statistics Agency, or BPS, reported that the Consumer Price Index in September 2021 experienced deflation of 0.04% on a monthly basis. As a result, annual inflation rate in September 2021 reached 1.6% year-on-year.
The Central Statistics Agency, or BPS, reported that the Consumer Price Index in September 2021 experienced deflation of 0.04% on a monthly basis. This position has decreased from the inflation rate in August 2021, which was recorded at 0.03% month-to-month. Thus, the annual inflation rate in September 2021 reached 1.6% year-on-year. Meanwhile, in the current year, inflation reached 0.8% year-to-date.
Bahwa perkembangan harga untuk berbagai komoditas pada bulan September 2021 ini secara umum menunjukkan adanya penurunan. Berdasarkan hasil pemantauan BPS di 90 kota pada bulan September 2021, terjadi deflasi sebesar 0,04%. Atau terjadi penurunan indeks harga konsumen atau IHK dari 106,57 pada Agustus 2021 menjadi 106,53 pada September 2021.
Of the 90 cities monitored by BPS, 56 cities experienced deflation. The remaining 34 cities experienced inflation. The highest deflation occurred in Gorontalo at 0.9%, driven by a decrease in commodity prices for cayenne pepper, which contributed 0.47%, tuna fish at 0.13%, and scatfish at 0.11%. Meanwhile, the highest inflation occurred in Pangkal Pinang at 0.6%, driven by the commodity of purebred chicken, which contributed 0.26%. IDX Channel reports.
The government has officially raised the rate of value-added tax from 10% to 11%. The new rates are effective from April 1st, 2022. Through tax harmonization law, the government plans to raise the VAT rate again to 12%. The plan is that this tariff will take effect from January 1st, 2025. However, the government is still open to the option that the VAT rate of 11% in 2022 and 12% in 2025 can be changed to a tariff range scheme. The range is the lowest 5% and the highest 15%. In addition, the government also stipulates a VAT rate of 0%, which will be applied to exports of taxable tangible goods, exports of taxable intangible goods, and exports of taxable services. Meanwhile, in official statement, Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati said that the tax harmonization law was formed with the aim of increasing sustainable economic growth that was inclusive and at the same time supporting the acceleration of economic recovery and optimizing state revenues. The Dutch embassy expressed interest in investing in the new renewable energy sector in Batam. This was conveyed in a business meeting held by the Batam Port Free Trade Area Concession Agency, or BP Batam. The interest of the Dutch embassy as the renewable energy investor is in line with Batam's goal of encouraging investment in solar power plants. However, BP Batam also opens up opportunities to invest in other sectors. BP Batam Head of Public Relations, Promotion and Protocol, Aryastuti Sirait, hopes that the embassies and associations can capture the vision and opportunities offered by BP Batam so they can collaborate, especially with investors. Aryastuti also said that this meeting was held to provide the latest information regarding the development of the city of Batam. Not only the Dutch embassy, the meeting was also attended by the Ministry of Investment of BKPM, the Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and representatives of the Australia, Egypt, and the Taipei Trade Office. Moving on to global update, U.S. President Joe Biden on Thursday evening signed legislation to avoid a partial federal shutdown and keep the government funded. Meanwhile, international boxing champion Manny Pacquiao has formally filled his candidacy for president of the Philippines as the country kicked off its election season. More stories on today's International Minute.
With only hours to spare, President Joe Biden on Thursday evening signed legislation to avoid a partial federal shutdown and keep the government funded through December 3rd. Congress had passed the bill earlier Thursday. The back-to-back votes by the Senate and the House averted one crisis, but delays on another continue as the political parties dig in on a dispute over how to raise the government's borrowing cap before the United States risks a potentially catastrophic default. Dubai opened Expo 2020 in an extravagant ceremony Thursday that battered the site's signature central dome in light, a symbolic beacon for the city-state's hopes that the World's Fair will draw tourists despite the coronavirus pandemic. Delayed a year by the virus, Expo 2020 has over 190 countries taking part in the event that will last 6 months. International boxing champion Manny Pacquiao has formally filed his candidacy for president of the Philippines as the country kicked off its election season, with television celebrities, political science, and at least one inmate expected to be among thousands of candidates vying for national and local posts. As he filed his papers for president on Friday, Pacquiao sprung a last-minute surprise, naming former Manila mayor and current House of Representatives member Lito Atienza as his running mate for vice president. Scarlett Johansson and the Walt Disney on Thursday settled her lawsuit over the streaming release of Black Widow, bringing a swift end to what had begun as the first major fight between a studio and star over recent change in rollout plans for films. Johansson filed the lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court 2 months ago, saying the streaming release of the Marvel movie breached her contract and deprived her of potential earnings. The two sides released a joint statement in which they pledged to continue working together. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Gak terkenal, mahal. Ini yang berkelas dan berkualitas.
Oh begitu.
Playbox All-in-One TV Android Box.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Welcome back. Minister of Trade Muhammad Lutfi confirmed that there will be an additional supply of 800 up to 1,000 units of containers per month for furniture exports. This in line with the scarcity of containers, which hampers export activities.
Minister of Trade Muhammad Lutfi confirmed that there will be an additional supply of 800 up to 1,000 units of containers per month. This is to support furniture exports. Lutfi said the supply of containers has also increased for the food and beverage sector by 3,500 up to 3,800 units per month. This additional supply is a solution to the shortage of containers that has occurred recently. He said Indonesia was flooded with orders from various countries. This happened in the middle of a trade war between China and the US.
Masalah-masalah ekspor bisa ditangani. Seperti kita ketahui bahwa masalah ekspor, terutama masalah kelangkaan dari peti kemas ini menjadi masalah yang serius dikala Indonesia sebenarnya kebanjiran order dengan datangnya order-order karena terjadinya perang dagang antara Amerika Serikat dan Cina. Dan kebanjiran order itu juga biasanya kita bisa manfaatkan terutama untuk industri-industri seperti elektronika, alas kaki, garment, dan juga furniture. Untuk kontainer furniture, kita sudah bisa mendapatkan komitmen baru bahwa akan ada supply kontainer antara 800 sampai 1.000 kontainer per bulannya. Dan juga untuk memenuhi kebutuhan untuk industri makanan minuman sudah ada komitmen untuk 3.500 sampai 3.800 kontainer per bulannya.
Lutfi explained that additional commitment for containers came from various countries. The agreement came after the government brought together exporters from Indonesia with entrepreneurs who could prepare containers. Even so, he said Indonesia actually needs up to 1,000 containers per week. This is to support the high market demand. IDX Channel reports.
The government asked companies to immediately fulfill coal domestic market obligations so that after these obligations are fulfilled, the companies can immediately take advantage on the ongoing increase in coal commodity prices. This was confirmed by the statement of the Minister of Trade, Muhammad Lutfi, who received a letter from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources regarding the DMO obligation for coal companies. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources asked the Trade Ministry to ensure that coal companies fulfill their DMO obligations. According to Lutfi, coal companies will carry out the DMO obligations. The reason is that all coal companies want to get export permits because commodity prices are skyrocketing.
Yang tinggi itu tentunya mendapatkan magnet tertentu untuk orang melaksanakan ekspor. Tetapi Kementerian SDM kemarin sudah menulis surat kepada kami untuk memastikan bahwa beberapa perusahaan untuk bisa menjalankan kewajiban domestic market obligation-nya untuk dilaksanakan. Nah, yang belum melaksanakan tidak dikasih izin ekspornya dan ini sudah ditindaklanjuti oleh Kementerian Perdagangan. Tetapi kalau saya melihat daripada jumlah dan apa yang kita bicarakan sekarang ini, saya berkeyakinan bahwa jumlah yang market domestic obligation itu akan ditaati, akan dituruti oleh perusahaan-perusahaan itu, dan saya berharap mereka dapat kembali masuk ke dalam list biru untuk bisa menjalankan ekspornya. Ini adalah waktu yang terbaik. Kita juga ingin memanfaatkan harga yang tinggi ini untuk bagaimana penerimaan negara.
After the approval of the 2022 state budget law by the House of Representatives, the Minister of Finance assures that the state budget posture will continue to prioritize recovery, but in the same time will continue fiscal consolidation.
Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati, who was also present at the ratification of the state budget law, ensured that the 2022 state budget was set to encourage recovery. The Minister of Finance said that the 2022 state budget will be a counter-cyclical instrument in reducing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The state budget is also directed to encourage economic recovery programs through health programs to social protection and business incentives.
0,85% dari PDB. Ini adalah penurunan defisit dibandingkan tahun ini dan tahun lalu, dan kita berharap menjadi tren yang konsisten agar Indonesia kembali memiliki APBN yang sehat dengan defisit di bawah 3% pada tahun 2023. Pembiayaan akan dijaga secara sangat hati-hati, apalagi dengan antisipasi ekonomi global, terutama kemungkinan terjadinya tapering dan juga berbagai perubahan geopolitik.
Sri Mulyani explained that next year's economy will still be supported by the recovery of public consumption, investment and international trade. And to support this, the 2022 state budget deficit is set at 4.85%. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
The Fiscal Policy Agency of the Ministry of Finance, or BKF, stated that the Indonesian Purchasing Managers Index, or PMI manufacturing, in September 2021 was in a position of 52.2, or in the expansive zone. The PMI data was conveyed by the head of the Fiscal Policy Agency, Febrio Kacaribu. He explained that the Indonesian economy has shown a recovery trend since August 2021, after being depressed due to the spread of the Delta variant of the COVID-19. Based on the data, there was an improvement in the index, which reflected that manufacturing activity had resumed. According to him, the data confirms Indonesia's economic activity is recovering quickly. This is in line with the results of handling the spread of the Delta variant of the COVID-19. For information, the Indonesian Manufacturing, or PMI, contracted in July and August 2021, where the July PMI fell to the level of 40.1 and August at the level of 43.7. Stay with us because Market Headlines will be right back after the break.
Otoritas Jasa Keuangan menyikapi pernyataan Majelis Ulama Indonesia atau MUI yang meminta pelarangan pinjaman online.
Indeks kita bergerak di dalam kondisi sideways atau membentuk complex correction.
Karena dia ini kan dikenalnya sebagai seorang influencer kesehatan. Sebenarnya sudah berapa lama sih menggeluti fokus ke dunia kesehatan ini, gaya hidup sehat?
Aku dari 2009 lah mulai start olahraga dan menjalani hidup sehat tuh dari 2009. Olahraga dan healthy lifestyle tuh memang udah jadi bagian dari hidup aku. Yang bikin aku konsisten tuh karena ada aftermath feelingnya kalau misalnya udah nyoba suatu workout.
Satgas COVID-19 tetap mengingatkan agar masyarakat tetap disiplin dalam menegakkan protokol kesehatan.
Pemerintah akan melakukan upaya terbaik untuk memvaksinasi sebanyak mungkin orang dan secepat mungkin.
Kementerian Perdagangan optimistis target pemerintah untuk membuat 30 juta UMKM go digital bisa tercapai di akhir tahun 2023. Wisata Bali dan Labuan Bajo hingga saat ini masih menjadi favorit.
Welcome back. We're on the last segment and the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,264.06 and then approaching the closing time of the session. The index was on the level of 6,236.49. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,228.84. In short, JCI went down 0.92%. And we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Opened at the level of 14,313, rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,274. In summary, rupiah went up 0.15%. Alam Sutra Realty posted marketing sales of 2 trillion rupiah until August 2021. This achievement is equivalent to 62.5% of the marketing sales target in 2021.
Alam Sutra Realty posted marketing sales of 2 trillion rupiah until August 2021. This achievement is equivalent to 62.5% of the marketing sales target of 3.2 trillion rupiah throughout 2021. The total marketing sales achievements grew 9% from the previous period. The same as in the previous year was recorded at 1.8 trillion rupiah. Alam Sutra Realty Management is also optimistic that sales in 2021 will be achieved through various projects that will be launched this year. With so many projects to be launched, the company is optimistic that the projected achievement of marketing sales in the second semester of 2021 will be achieved. The house segment, both landed house and high-rise segment, is still driving the company's sales to date. It was recorded that until the first semester of 2021, Alam Sutra sales were driven by real estate sales of 922.9 billion rupiah or 83% of total sales, followed by services, hospitality and others of 186 billion or 17% of sales. Meanwhile, the composition of real estate sales consisted of land sales amounting to 146.6 billion, houses and shop houses 729.2 billion, and apartments and office space contributing 44.3 billion rupiah. IDX Channel reports.
Astra International will distribute an interim dividend for the 2021 financial year of 45 rupiah per share. This dividend distribution is based on the decision of the Board of Directors, which has been approved by the Board of Commissioners on September 27, 2021. In total, the company will distribute an interim dividend of 1.82 trillion rupiah from the first half net profit. Jardina Cycle and Carriage Limited holds 50.11% ownership and the public 49.89%. This dividend payout ratio is around 20% of the company's net profit in the first half of 2021, which reached 8.8 trillion rupiah. This profit decreased 22% compared to the net profit in the first half of 2020, which was recorded at 11.3 trillion. Meantime, based on information disclosure ex-dividends in the regular and negotiated markets on October 8, 2021, while the date of recording of shareholders entitled to interim dividends is October 11, 2021, and dividend payments on October 29, 2021. Energi Mega Persada obtained a $55 million loan facility from Deutsche Bank to finance the production of Bentu's gas assets.
Energi Mega Persada obtained a $55 million loan facility from Deutsche Bank to finance the production of Bentu's gas assets. The loan has an interest rate of 1 month LIBOR plus 6% per annum and will mature on July 30, 2025. Director and CFO of Energi Mega Persada, Eduardus Ardianto, said the loan facility will be used to refinance maturing loans and to fund production growth from assets gas block Bentu in Riau. Energi Mega Persada CEO Shailendra Bakri added that the company remains committed to developing its business through the acquisition of new assets and through production growth from its existing portfolio. In the first half of this year, Energi posted a 53% decline in net profit to $12.85 million from the previous profit of $27.34 million. However, net sales recorded an increase of 11.68% to $166.31 million compared to the achievement of the same period in the previous year, which was $148.92 million. IDX Channel reports.
And step aside from market condition, as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on, here it is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. And we can get through this pandemic by staying disciplined on health protocols. Everyone must wear a face mask because it can protect us from COVID-19. Use masks properly and encourage family and people around you to do the same. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.